you know, with that being said, everybody was kind of living their old regular lives. But anytime you know, seen somebody with it, they were like, hey, you cheated, what's good? And the cheater was like, hey, you know, like that. And it's just like, get that out of here. Nope, cheating. And the worst part is you gotta learn that on Reddit. You didn't win. Your Crossup did. What is going on, guys? We are back today with some interesting news. I can't believe it myself. Crossup Hitbox is actually getting banned for certain premieres and events, and I'm actually surprised about this. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about my thoughts and go and break down why they banned this Crossup Hitbox. But before we jump into it, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, leave a like, let me know in the comment section below how you feel. Let's jump into the video right now. This is very soft. It was like a soft announcement, which is weird that no one's really talking about it. It's actually pretty interesting. Hitbox Crossup is not allowed for CPT events because it breaks several rules. And I didn't know about this, actually. I was very surprised about, I was like, wait, does it really break a lot of rules? So apparently the maximum directional command inputs is 4. It's prohibited to put the same commands into multiple buttons. Yeah, and I was just like, okay, well, technically the hitboxes should be banned, right? But just reading, I'm like, it doesn't make sense, you know? Players are not allowed to add functions that deletes or disable the input information from attack commands or directional commands as a special exception. Only for following specifications are allowed for left, right, upward, down. So this is where things are so weird to me, because PlayStation has an option where you can go and actually do this. And this was a thing for quite some time. So it's so weird to me that now that they're like, okay, we're shutting it down now. And I'm curious why. I'm curious if modern mode is going to be like some that they're banning this for. Yo, we just got some gear right now. I know you guys are really excited to get the new fit. So let's go ahead and rank up from that JV and go straight to that varsity line. You feel me? Make sure you guys get some gear. Make sure you guys get one of these. I mean, these are already the cleanest. Come on, man. Like, come on, dog. Y'all gotta get this. But anyways, look. Make sure you guys go ahead and check it out. Pandas.gg/varsity. And I'll be seeing you guys around next time. Basically, this seems like this is going to be the CPT rule now. Crossup is getting banned. Now, I think this is going to be really bad in a lot of ways. It's going to bring a lot of problems, especially going to be like the new topic for mad people. And it's going to be interesting. I think this is a pretty crazy, harsh way to go about it. Somebody brought up a good point about the antagonist button that I didn't think about. That's supposed to catch up with the hitbox, but if the hitbox player just had that button, this shit would on that shit, then what? Well, f it, Mysterious J. At this point, how many CPT pros use Crossup though? Still think the ban is down? I think there's not a lot of people that use the Crossup. There are some players that do it, but I think the reason why you don't see a lot of players move to Crossup was because the Crossup hitbox wasn't really accessible the last 2 years. If you want me to be honest, the Crossup format, it wasn't really accessible for the past 2 years. It was very hard to get. It was very expensive. But this is what I think is going to happen. I think somebody's going to, once this gets really big and everybody starts talking about this, I think that every other company is going to follow suit. And I think that's going to be dangerous. It's pretty crazy because there's so many worse things out there than this. And I think it's crazy that it's like Crossup got hit first. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's pretty crazy. I think it's pretty crazy that Crossup got hit first. Do you think there's a way to devs to code the game, a way to stop things like the Crossup? That's too much work. And I think that makes things more complicated, to be honest with you, for new players. The way I think about it is, I think this could really start a big problem. Where is the level of when it's not cheating? That is the big thing, right? When is the level when it's not cheating? That's like a huge issue. And I think them attacking the Crossup is just, I'm just like, what? Like, you go for Crossup before all these hitboxes? But look, I'm gonna go ahead and give you my take on this. I think this is crazy. I actually think this is actually insane. A lot of people has been saying things about like, hey, we should check and see if this is cheating or not, blah, 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 blah. This and that. Nothing was really talked about. No one really said anything. You know, it got called a cheater here and there, and then people were playing on it. And then people kind of went on with their lives with people, you know, whipping out a Crossup and you know, playing on it and things like that. So you know, with that being said, everybody was kind of living their old regular lives. But anytime you know, seen somebody with it, they were like, hey, you cheater, what's good? And the cheater was like, hey, you know, like that. But the thing is now is you waited so many years where people has now kind of got used to the Crossup. And it's not like these Crossups is like $100. This is like $350 and up. And now you wait until like this company kind of made more of these controllers. People are now buying it. Some people just got it just recently. And then all of a sudden, everybody's like getting accustomed into like this new stick. And it's just like, get that out of here. Nope, cheating. And the worst part is you gotta learn that on Reddit. You didn't win, your Crossup did. That's crazy, man. I just think that they waited so long to do that. Though I kind of like that they're now taking like initiative on like setting the standard, but that's not how you do it. You know what I mean? Like you gotta like review it, talk about it, explain why is it this, why is it that. Like you have to do a lot of things. You just can't just be like, all right, guys, well, we have come to the conclusion by organization that we won't talk about because we don't even know who the organization is. But yeah, Crossup is cheap, and yeah, get good. You were never good to begin with. I'm very sorry to announce this. Yes, you're trash. You will now start drowning in pools again. And yeah, footsies, and then boom, done. They should have done this during the pandemic. This is the perfect time. Pandemic was the best time to set the standards on so many. But regardless of what I think they're going to rule this, and I think they're going to unban this. If they don't unban this, then that means every other company is going to fall through. I worry about people who spend money on Crossups. There are people that already do that. There's a lot of people who play like on claw style on the controller, and the way they hold the controller is kind of like, they play like that, right? So like they hold down, obviously it's not like perfect like this, but they hold down, you know, they press like a trigger, and they press up, and it gives them flash kick. So people already do that on pad. Another thing too is there's a thing where you can change the control, you can change the button layout on the PlayStation. You can actually go and change the settings on like certain buttons that you want to press and have two buttons. Like, so you could map it where that jab in the game can actually come out with one button. So like you can have two jabs in one button like that. Like you can actually set it like that. But the messed up part about that was that the arcade stick players couldn't do it. Only the pad players. So when you try to plug in your stick, you didn't get that accessibility. But on pad, you did. So that was mad cheap, right? It's like, damn, that's kind of broken. You know what I mean? But whatever. You know, it was legal. And it's just so weird to me that like, they were just like, all right, before we start on anything, Crossup, boom. So that's crazy. So yeah, and then what made it worse too is like some players actually lost games because they did the button check and they checked their buttons, but the buttons were it flipped upside down, so their buttons was like all over the place. So like, you know, it caused a lot of problems. You know what's crazy? I think there's way more worse than the Crossup. They are way more worse than the Crossup. That's the craziest part. There's way worse than the Crossup. Crossup is actually the most honest out of the things that are out there, which is crazy. I will say this though, I feel bad for the people who bought Crossup, because now if they decide to play CPT and potentially any other tour and that copies the rules, and the thing is, a lot of people are telling me like, bro, it's not going to happen on everything. You guys don't understand. If you guys really watch the tours for all of these premieres for each company, they all copy their same rules. Don't you guys don't think the Arc Tour don't look like the Tekken World Tour? Yeah, Arc World Tour, Tekken World Tour, like all of them got the same names. Like they're not even hiding it. So with that being said, they're gonna definitely copy the rules. That's how it works. But that's the thing. It's gonna start with the rules, and then some guy or some individual out there is gonna be like, hey man, I don't want to go to tournaments and see Crossup players. I think they're cheating. Some events are gonna be like, hey guys, Crossups are banned. I'm just saying, it's gonna follow suit. I think that is some bullshit, to be honest with you. Again, the difference between Hitbox and Crossup is harder to access to buy than the Hitbox. That's the biggest difference. Is the Hitbox style is more accessible for everyone, but Crossup was harder to access because there wasn't a lot made, but people always wanted one. It was always sold out. It's unfortunate that Crossup got nuked first. And it makes sense why they nuked the Crossup first, is because, as you guys said in the chat, Hitbox is mad popular. Hitbox actually is, believe it or not, Hitbox is so good that I truly believe that that's one of the main reasons why a lot of people are getting into fighting games. I truly believe it. That is a controller that reminds them as a keyboard. You know why? Because a lot of you motherfuckers are keyboard warriors. But yeah, I think most of the people who got into fighting games that are freshly new all have hitboxes. So I think if I own a company and I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, but I know for damn sure I know that the hitbox are buying my games, I'm not going to attack the hitbox players. That's just the obvious fundamental of having an okay company. You know what I'm saying? Not saying Capcom is okay. I'm just saying me don't know what the fuck I'm doing is okay. So I'm like, all right, there's like 20,000 hitbox players, 1,000 Crossup players. We're going to take this 1,000, multiply the hitbox players. So I honestly think they attacked that because that wasn't the real popular seller. That's my theory. So I think this is actually a safer from their perspective, but it ain't never safe in the fighting game community. Let me tell you that. Nothing's safe. Nothing ain't safe, bro. You talk about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, you getting canceled. And don't have a hobby. You also getting canceled for having a hobby. So yeah, that's my thought. You guys let me know how you guys feel. I feel bad, but you know, this is a good start to start debugging. You know, we need to.